Hi, hello, and welcome to KNTV. You are watching Inside Indian Football episode 114, 114th episode of Inside Indian Football. Uh, Lots of negative vibes going around Indian football, and we have touched upon in last two episodes talking about those negative issues in Indian football, who is creating that, who is responsible for that. We have touched upon all those points. I thought this week episode I didn't have anything to add in terms of what already discussed in the inside Indian football. So we thought maybe let's talk something positive which happened in recent time in Indian football, and let's see how many of those moves or steps can help Indian football going ahead. So we'll wait for the audience to come in, and hi and everyone to आज 6 बजे बिल्कुल परफेक्ट आए हैं बिकॉज जो टाइम प्रॉमिस था वही है. तो कभी कभी देखो टाइम पे लाइव आना चाहते हैं बट सिचुएशन आपके अराउंड ऐसी होती है कि कई बार कैमरा धोखा दे देता है, कई बार लाइट, कई बार कुछ चीज़ सिस्टम, कई बार माइक. तो ये सब चीज़ें अगर पहले से कर दे तो ठीक है. तो जो टीम घर पे आज हॉलीडे मतलब इनका वीक ऑफ है उनको भी सुनना चाहिए, आपको पहले से रेडी रहना चाहिए. या आई थिंक हैव टू लुक फॉरवर्ड टुवर्ड्स फाइंडिंग digging some positive stuff in Indian football, and I want to also bring another perspective of what going on currently in terms of how the leagues are happening and why these leagues are happening. Is this have anything to do with Indian football or not? I also want to discuss my opinion and what I feel about it, because currently we are at, in a way, the new regime came in, and everybody thought, including me, that we will progress from here because we were so at bottom. But now the effort has been made to bring back the AFF power in the older days to the old people again. So we will discuss about all those things alongside some positive stuff which has been kind of छुप गया और दब गया नेगेटिव न्यूज़ के अंदर और नेगेटिव ओपिनियंस के अंदर, इंक्लूडिंग माइन. Last week I gave an update on the PIO's issues also, Peer of Indian Origin, which was a massive update, but it didn't made any kind of any headline anywhere. So I think we'll discuss. I have around 11-12 points to discuss, and something also, another thing I want to discuss is national team, which is related to senior coach, AFF, technical committee, and how in last 1.5 years since a new regime came in, how things were not done properly. That's also the point, because AFF is the organization under sports ministry, SAI, and AFF general secretary, AFF president, whoever they are, they don't have authority to take any kind of technical decision in Indian football. That's why the technical committee is there. So we will touch upon these issues also, that why I'm talking about this thing today, because I was going through some stuff, talking to some people, and figure it out that some people kept the power in their hand, and they didn't allow technical committee to function at all in last 1.5 years. So for what the technical committee was made, so finally some kind of progress have been made on that regard now, at least when technical committee met Stimac first time in last 1 year or 1.5 years. Why so? Why national team coach and technical committee are not meeting regularly? Why technical committee is not into the Indian camps or the training and see what Stimac or what the national team preparation are going through? So who stopped this? Who stopped technical committee meeting national team coach? Who stopped national team coach meeting technical committee? That's the question for today, and that's what I want fans to be asked. Why technical committee and the senior team coach took so long to meet? Because ultimately any technical decision regarding Indian AFF and Indian football team can be taken by technical committee only, not by AFF General Secretary, who is the employee, not by AFF President, who is by honorary position. So why and who stopped technical committee meeting national team coach? And I think because when I'm in last few weeks, many people have reached out to me, with their opinions, what they agree or disagree with whatever opinions I have given. I have been critical of lots of stuff, so I try to find positive also. Last week also, when I was going through all the documentation of AFF in terms of audit report and everything, I find out about player of Indian origin, so I shared the information on that. So we'll talk about these issues. So I have touched upon some of the steps taken by in last 6 months or 1 year in terms of Indian football. So we will talk about those issues. Yes, we'll talk about positive stuff. Don't worry. We'll talk about corruption allegation and everything. Hit the like button who haven't streamed now. Yes, downfall of ISL attendance shows downfall of Indian football. I don't agree. Yeah, only thing first people need to understand, there's a fatigue in every league worldwide, in India especially, IPL, PKL and everything. Second thing, ISL supposed to be a weekend league. You can't accept a weekday matches to be filled, especially on the period when there's less holidays. This is not a festive period in India, right? Jan, Feb. It's not Diwali, Dussehra time where you have lots of festivals, lots of offices have off. So that's also the period. So you have to, attendance wise, I think you have to see positive of Mohun Bagan, East Bengal started getting the numbers back. Kerala Blasters, even the performance have gone down in recent matches. The attendance have been solid. Jamshedpur FC, decent attendance. Northeast, decent attendance. Of course, Hyderabad attendance have down. We know that. FC Goa is in terms of what Goa used to have in the early days of ISL has also gone down in terms of of course Goa have made lots of effort as a club to engage with the local community, but I think the FC Goa attendance is also a very another reason to get it down is a demographic change in terms of what's going in Goa, in terms of Goa youth going outside Goa, outside India to make their career, and it's that's the reason, because 10 years ago majority of the Goan youth in Goa used to watch matches, football, and now the demographic change have happened in Goa, and also there is alternative source of entertainment in Goa also now. That's another thing. Mumbai City FC, of course, there's a disappointment as a one of the most successful club in recent time. But if you talk to Mumbai City FC hardcore fans, they will say club have not made any kind of effort to connect with the local crowd. City with such a huge population couldn't get 5,000 fans in the stadium, which is a shame. Which is a shame as a for a club, which is a shame as a league. ISL have not done enough in Mumbai, which is a shame as a city group to come in and allow the same people to continue on those departments who has an important role to play in terms of engaging with the fans. So I think City Group need to take a control of it. They have to get into the offline marketing, the engagement with the potential fans, some kind of contest or the engagement. See, simple, in terms of Valentine week is going, make it 1+1 ticket. Every couple, if they come for a match, you have to buy just one ticket and give it one free. So you have to do these kind of stuff, throughout the year. Because Mumbai attendance is 2,000, right? So even if they're selling around 2,000 tickets, if they can get in those 2,000, 4,000 people, maybe in future who's coming for free might start buying your ticket or merch and everything. So I think that's where the clubs need to be smart, and I don't think our clubs doing so anything. Don't think any kind of these kind of marketing brain has been put behind increasing the fans or attendance. Because the success Mumbai have in recent time, the city and in terms of Mumbai as a city also, right? It's one of the biggest city in terms of all the ISL teams if you count in terms of potential, in terms of returning the investment. That's why City Group invested in Mumbai, right? They had an option to invest in Northeast, but they went ahead with Mumbai. So so I think that's where City Group need to understand that they have to do some kind of a key decision need to be taken care to start building connections with the local Mumbaikars people, and how they can do it with the schools, with the colleges. That's they need to prepare on. So I think of course the attendance have been down, but there's a multiple factors behind it, and of course the marketing of ISL has also gone down. So again, question to FSDL, Will they start at least doing some basic marketing? Because since Star interest went down in ISL after Disney deal, Star was responsible for all the gimmick marketing hype initially in the ISL. Not Reliance, not FSD, it was Star who was doing all the marketing initiative for the ISL in early 4-5 years. That's where the ISL, in terms of sponsorship, in terms of attendance, best period came. When Star Disney deal happened, Disney put the brake on the spending of marketing of the particular sports, or say football or kabaddi and everything. That's where if you see ISL problems started happening in terms of sponsors, in terms of the attendance, in terms of the TV ratings and everything. So I think that's where questions need to be asked to FSGL. What FSGL have done to replace Star Sports in terms of the marketing initiative which Star used to do, the campaign Star used to do, what FSDL is doing now, what kind of offline, online, what kind of marketing they're doing. So football is still, ISL is still a very young league, and I think they have to continue make those efforts so that you can keep on growing. Alongside ISL, I will still say the clubs need to do better. I don't think there are maybe 2 or 3 clubs who started connecting the local people in their city and the state. Still, majority clubs don't give any damns what fans thinks, what fans needs, making their match viewing experience better, engaging with them, engaging with the colleges, engaging with the schools. I still don't understand how can Mumbai City FC cannot get the college kids and the school kids free of cost, get them to the stadium, fill the stadium 10,000 every match. What's a big deal into it? Get NGOs to give kids a day out, arrange a bus, basic meals for the kids and let them watch football, What's stopping Mumbai to do so? They have everything. It's not that by saving the money of those tickets, Mumbai City or City Group will become a billionaire group. They have to start building the audience. It's the same that Mumbai City FC have a 2000, but I think as a club management, they have to take some kind of drastic decision inside the club. People who are responsible for the building the club, engagement in the local Mumbai crowd, they should be, उनकी क्लासेस लेनी चाहिए. पहली बात तो उनको पूछना चाहिए कि आप कर क्या रहे हो एक्चुअली, एंड सेकंड थिंग कि नेक्स्ट सीजन कैसे ये अटेंडेंस बेटर की जा सकती है एज मुंबई सिटी. एंड सिमिलर थिंग I want to say about that, other clubs need to also do it. Jamshedpur FC, they always have a good crowd, but the engagement with the local fans is not good. The basic demand of not getting a new jersey of Jamshedpur FC fans is not taken care by Jamshedpur FC management or the Tatas, by the way, in that regard. So I hope these kind of stuff need to be done. And अब थोड़े से questions देख लेते हैं, and then we'll move towards the topics which you want to talk about. There was literally negligent marketing when Chhetri came to Delhi. I even didn't know there was a match in the evening. And Punjab FC, even they don't do anything. 4,000-5,000 people still coming to watch the games, and I think that shows that Delhi can still have a club in ISL if somebody come and do those right things accordingly. And I had a hope, very high hope from the TVS group when they're bidding for the Delhi franchisee in I-League, because the people TVS group was involving in that bid were the football fans, by the way. So they, and local Delhi height football fans, they had an idea, they had a plan how they will engage local Delhi people, Delhi state government, central government, and MCD together to get something going in Delhi football. Not just in terms of the first team, but in terms of the academy, in terms of the youth football, in terms of the state football. But sadly, that TVS franchisee, the deal with the AFF never went ahead. So I think Odisha is working good in community service recently, and I think credit to Odisha FC and credit to Odisha government also with the involvement in the football. Mumbai is a good school competition for under 10 or 16 level. They should do easily able to get the good player pipeline and fans pipeline. That's my problem, right? Get those kids to the stadium, arrange the transport from them to end to end, and a basic meal. The kids are your future fans. If you attract those kids today, 3 or 5 years down the line, they will be the one who will buy your tickets, they will want to buy your merch. So I think, even if you see Mumbai City, ISL champion, League Shield champion, playing in the Champions League, getting Neymar and then getting hype, getting 2,000, 2,500 for the average attendance, Punjab FC at Delhi is still better attendance than what Mumbai City FC have. So that's where Mumbai City FC need to think about, and I think hopefully next season they will make changes accordingly. संतोष ट्रॉफी को स्क्रैप करके यूथ लीग बना देना चाहिए, गणेश नायक जी कह रहे हैं. If they were good treatment fans, it will be to increase numbers. Seats are so dirty. Are in there are lots of confusion about Punjab FC match tickets. Totally agreed. I was talking to someone who went to the games and they said, there is no clarity about what Punjab FC. They have not put in any effort. But then there was someone telling me that it is expected because they will not play here next season most likely. And what will they do in terms of building a fan base here? But it was an opportunity for ISL in terms of seeing that in future, is there any potential for a Delhi franchisee or Delhi club to come back in ISL? So this could have been used to see that ISL should have done better. Punjab FC in terms of stadium cleanliness, in terms of stadium engagement for the fans should have done better. And I think I hope if they're watching Punjab FC people here, and because most of the clubs do watch this show, please make sure the fans have a good experience. Don't open the whole stadium. Even if you open a 2 stand, but make it sure the stands are clear, water is available, toilets are clear. That will be a great thing for the Indian Super League, Indian football, and Delhi football. Why everything went silent after Asia Cup? Ego Stimac, Kalyan Chobe aren't even tweeting so many years. We'll talk about those. Sir, you are the only person giving some transparency of Indian football. Many of Indian football fans are leaving because hype has crashed down. It pains to see that. I have a mixed opinion on that. So if a fan is leaving Indian football just because we are not doing well, I can understand the emotions. I can understand somebody want to get temporary break, but somebody is leaving it completely. I will be very honest. Fans don't even know even the 10% of negative stuff of Indian football. If they're leaving it, but that's the thing. If everybody leaves, then Indian football is not going anywhere. And then everybody who's sitting on the jobs, they will be happy. No one there to complain. So as a fans, I do my professional life is aside. I do these episodes because there's not a huge numbers and everything. I do these episodes just because I'm an Indian football fan, and I want to make sure Indian football goes to do well, because that will make me happy, and that will be maybe the ultimate dream is to see India in the FIFA World Cup before everybody laid down in their life. And that's if we start leaving one by one, it's done. And I read about Tanya Apte's thread, who is a Srinidhi Deccan media manager. I want to talk to him. I will talk to him once I-League is over, and I will say to him, take a break and maybe come back in a different capacity to make some change in Indian football. We can't leave it. That's what they want. That's what these dinosaurs who's sitting on the who's making sure Indian football doesn't progress, and they control everything. They want good people to leave, and we can't allow good people to leave. I feel because nationality problems also reason behind the low attendance and hype and excitement. There are multiple reasons. So let's just start. First of all, I want to ask. There are 13 stuff which happened. So here is a chronology or terms I want to talk about. How AFF structure work. Again, I have made this clear again and again, but I will make it clear because people are still confused. Let's see. So there is AFF president on top. He is the president. It's honorary position. President don't make money from AFF. It's an honorary position, and president do not run AFF. People need to understand this, and that's where fans are getting used by people to shift the blame from the actual person who's responsible for that job to someone else. So president do not run AFF on day-to-day basis. President do not sits in the AFF house on day-to-day basis. Who does so? AFF general secretary. He is like a CEO of the company. Okay, a CEO is a company who runs day-to-day affair. He is getting paid handsomely by AFF when there was a AFF general secretary. So all the day-to-day affairs at AFF is a responsibility of general secretary. Okay, and and to give an idea, by the way, how this works. For example, Asian Games, Stimac selected an Indian team squad for the Asian Games, which didn't have Chetris and Jingan and the Gurpreet. And Stimac knew it, Mr. Saji Prabhakaran, then General Secretary, knew it, but AFF president didn't knew about it. When he went to the sports ministry to give a presentation to convince sports ministry, at that time he got to know, oh, there is no Chetri and Sandesh Jingan into it, because it's not his job to get involved in day-to-day affairs, selections and the camps and everything of the AFF, right? So he only went there to use his connections and everything with the sports ministry, because he's also part of IOA side, to convince them to send Indian football team, make a case for the Indian football team. And I think that Asian Games saga have a huge impact on how ISL, Asian Game, Asia Cup actual preparation and everything went downhill, because this miscommunication. AFF president was not informed by whoever is responsible for that communication to AFF president that Egos Stimac have not selected Sunil Chetri, Sandesh Jingan, and Egos Stimac has already told ISL coaches that he will not select the senior players, which include Jingan from Goa and Sunil from Bengaluru FC, and because they were planning for the longer camps in the in the month of December, and based on that. And so that's how the AFF works, right? So people need to understand that's a major thing I want to differentiate. President is not sitting in Dwarka on day-to-day basis. His job is an honorary position. His job is basically to meet different governments, FIFA, AFC, Indian government, SAI, sports ministry, arrange funds, do partnership. That's his job. His job is not to make sure that, okay, competition team is doing XYZ or not. He don't have authority to do as such, because they have each and every committee in AFF to do this kind of stuff. So that's where I want to just clarify that one thing. Second thing happened is that when Egos Stimac won the Hero Tri Series and the SAF Championship and Hero Continental Cup, AFF have a technical committee, which consists of IM Vijayan, the ex-players, MM Devi, who understand football and who knows how football on pitch is run by the head coaches, and what is the requirement of head coach, what is the requirement of the players is the duty of technical committee. Sad point is, last 1 year nearly, since March window, if you can say about March international break, AFF technical committee and Egos Stimac never met. Online, offline, they never had a meeting. And this is my question to fans and everybody to find out why AFF technical committee, who is responsible for all the technical decision, were never met Egos Stimac, and who stopped these meetings happening, because they should be meeting regularly. It's like BCCI selectors. You can see BCCI selectors who selects the national team in cricket. They goes for each and every training session, matches and domestic cricket and everything. But who stopped AFF technical committee meeting Egos Stimac regularly? And they should meet every 2-3 months after every international window. If there's a March break, after the end of the, maybe before the March international break, they should meet. After the break they should meet. What was required from that break? Do Stimac got it in terms of facilities, in terms of everything? They should meet. Then maybe before the June break, they should meet. After, because that's what technical committee is for there, right? So because I want to come on this, why I'm asking about this, because ISL, when there was an administrative at AFF, when the court administrative was appointed, at that time nobody was running AFF. So Egos Stimac and the FSDL had a meeting in terms of planning the calendar of Indian football, and this meeting I have mentioned again and again, where it was agreed that Egos Stimac and Indian football team will get at least 20 days of the preparation, in terms of Asia Cup in December, and in the November and the March window, they will get 10 days each to prepare for World Cup qualifiers. This was agreed, and in the return, they hope that the FSDL and the ISL hope that Egos Stimac and his national team at that time under the administrative will not play in the month of October and September, so that ISL continue going, and then the Egos Stimac gets what he need in terms of break. But without consulting the technical committee and the head coach, AFF at that time went on to agree to play in the Kings Cup and the Madrika Cup, which, by the way, the head coach didn't want it, FSDL didn't want it, and I don't know what the status of technical committee is, because technical committee never met. So if Stimac didn't wanted to play in the in August or the September October window, he should have been allowed to meet the technical committee, and technical committee should have met him, and then technical committee should have convinced AFF, okay, the head coach, because they are technical people, right? They understand football. They will understand the head coach requirement of getting 20 days, 25 days before a Asia Cup, 10 days before World Cup. They will understand the requirement of each and every training sessions, because he if you see the president, and they are not technical people in at AFF. Even they are ex-footballers, but they are not technical. They are not holding a technical position. So if a head coach didn't wanted to play in month of September and the October, why eventually AFF went ahead, and why the technical committee and the ego steamer never had that meeting, and who stopped that happening, that meeting? Finally they met now last week. We know about it, and technical committee have come ahead and said they are backing. He is our coach. They are backing him for the March World Cup qualifiers and the June World Cup qualifiers, which is very important. And one thing I want to say, I think after meeting ego Stimac, there's another stuff come from that meeting which went in the end of the press release from AFF, was Kolkata, Bangalore, and I think Hyderabad and Odisha. I think four venues. I think Odisha, Bangalore, Kolkata and Hyderabad was named as a potential venues for the World Cup qualifier. So it looks like, as a head coach, what will be the preference of Igor Stimac, and finally it is conveyed to technical committee, and technical committee conveyed back to AFF, okay, you might have taken decision on Hyderabad, but that's not done. As a technical committee, this is our opinion. You have to add other venues, and you have to take other factors into the consideration before taking a decision. And that's where the technical committee is. If a head coach, or if say head coach wants to say, I want to play in XYZ city because of these technical reasons, better training facility, better weather, better ground, better fan support, maybe other position AFF will not understand it, but technical committee will understand it. So I really want, because technical committee is the only committee who can fire a coach, who can sack a coach, who can give a new contract to a head coach and everything. So they have to work together, technical committee and the head coach. They have to meet regularly. They have to convince each other with about their decisions, and I think that's how football need to be taken ahead. Not a general secretary, not president. They should not be involved taking any kind of technical decision for the senior team, for the youth teams, in terms of the preparation, in terms of where they need to play, where they need to go for preparation. Decisions should be based by what technical committee recommend, not what AFF state association want to host the games or not. So that's, I think, one change which happened very good, and I think it's important factor. And I'm surprised when I dig into it that there no technical committee and senior team meeting haven't take place in last nearly 1 year, which is very shocking in terms of, because it was an important year for Indian football and we missed that point. So and I think मेरा ये opinion है कि I hope that will be a good change, and it will start happening on regular basis. And technical committee have said he is our coach and he is going to be the head coach for the World Cup qualifiers. And I think it's in a way, of course, it's what happened in Asia Cup is in past. It's a very disastrous performance by Indian team, but there are various factors which led to that performance, not just the the performance in terms of preparation, in terms of what build up for the tournament, what AFF told head coach, I don't know. So there are multiple factors. I hope it is reviewed. I hope the feedback has been taken place on that regard, and decision must have been taken place. So and technical committee must have given their opinion to Igor Stimac on selections, on preparation, on the performance, on the playing style, because that's what technical committee is all about, right? So I hope that's a good start, and that will they will go and start doing it regularly. Now let's talk about some positives straight away which happening in Indian football, and which is very important positive, which might get again छुप जाएंगे बाद में. एक चीज स्टार्ट हुई है इंडियन फुटबॉल में which is a good, very positive step. Age fraud is the biggest problem in Indian football, and I think this is where our development, our funds, government funds, taxpayer money, FIFA grants, AFC grant have been misused in last 20 years because of age fraud. our under 16 team never used to be under 16 in past 10-15 years. We go on, those people जिनको लोगों को पता है नहीं रहते under 16, and that's a major reason. We do well under 16 level, you struggled under 19. First reason for that is age fraud, because at 16 level our players are overage, and that's why they physically can match West Asian teams, right? Because they might be 14, 15. It's not the age fraud is not there in West Asia, but I mean in general I'm talking about. And by the time under 19 they reach, age fraud factor gets away, because at 19 in professional football worldwide, there's a Premier League or anywhere you see, there's a player 18, 19 who playing regular in Premier League, they're player 21, 22. So their age physicality level doesn't work the under 19 level, and of course there's the factor they don't play much game. That is a major problem in age fraud in Indian football. One thing is happening is now under 13 and under 15 level, two junior sub-junior TW3 tests have been started, and I don't have a number yet, but there's a major players in terms of numbers. There's a long list. The players have been caught by TW3 tests, and now AIFF have made is going to make sure only will player get registered at AIFF, central register system, which is CRM for the player management and everything. But that's where the age fraud, if you remember Gauramukhi, he was registered twice on the portal and everything. So now they have made sure that no player will be registered on AIFF database without TW3 test. And that's where lots of leagues and the matches started getting postponed, because the players were getting late, player was getting caught, and they have to change the team and everything. So TW test have been a great success. Subroto Cup was the first tournament where it started making the impact, and I think it's a great start. That's if we can't stop age fraud in India, can't decrease age fraud in India, Indian football cannot go ahead. So I think that's one positive we can talk about in Indian football right now is TW3 testing happening, and at least there's an agency now who've been selected through the proper agency system by AIFF, how they taken the order out and everything. So I think that's a good thing. And if the TW3 test started happening regularly and we started getting players caught before they actually registered at AIFF systems, so that will mean these players will be stopped before they reach the national team at youth level. So they will get caught in between, and that's where now clubs will really have to start implementing the TW3 testing in their own system also. They can't be dependent on Aadhaar card only. They can't be just somebody has Aadhaar card and he looks 17 but his Aadhaar card says 15. Clubs have to start considering a budget, giving a budget for TW test. You don't do it for whole squad, but you should do it for players who you feel and you have a doubt that that particular player is overage. That's one major positive have come in last 6-7 months, which people need to highlight more and more. But age fraud is a massive issue in Indian football. It's one of the biggest reason why Indian football is not going ahead is the age fraud. Irrespective of what you feel about ISL versus I-League, ISL versus AIFF, national team, junior teams, legacy clubs, new club, franchisee, all keep aside, age fraud is the biggest, in terms of factor behind Indian football not doing well. So if we can continue, catching these players and federations and the coaches and the clubs regarding age frauds, and we stop these players progressing, to the national team, that's a major victory. And I think now I'm told the regular TW3 will happen also, and I have requested for some numbers from my sources to get how many percentage of these players from each age category or a zone category have been caught. So तो वो चीज है. उसके अलावा अभी मैं एग्री नहीं करता था, मैं फिर से बोलूंगा, जो ये 9x9 हुआ, जूनियर स्टार्ट, सब जूनियर 7x7 स्टार्ट हुए हैं, अभी सब जूनियर लीग स्टार्ट हो रही है, विच इज लाइक अंडर 13 आई थिंक इज अ सब जूनियर, which started 7x7. Bangalore versus Kolkata zone have started, and there are at least more than the 10 zones are there. 2 zones have started, so at least the under 13 league have been resumed by AIFF. So that's basic requirement of the as a football fans. Our youth league need to get back, and they have finally started getting back. The under 17, which is 9x9, and it is delayed. I am told do three TW3 testing, which has been done at the registration of the players and everything, because of, again, as I told, the massive players have been caught by AFF at different age group, junior, sub junior, both, and I think that's why the league, under 15 league, is still delayed because of the TW3 testing going on. So I think that's where, I hope this TW3 testing became the massive part. Every team need to do it. We as an ecosystem need to cut age fraud. Very honest about it, right? So there is no way we can take Indian football forward if we don't do don't catch the age frauds. So that's one thing. IWL home and away finally starting mid-March. It is delayed, but I think it will start in mid-March. I-League 3, which is acting like as a qualifiers for I-League 2 now, but there's a league, of course. I still don't know. It's still a qualifier, but at least they have make sure there's involvement of the other club. Only way I-League 3 will be relevant if they allow I-League 3 clubs in the Federation Cup next year. Then it will look like a proper league. You have to start your Federation Cup round 1 with I-League 3 clubs. I really want to see a small club playing ISL in a Federation Cup, ISL club. That is actual football story worldwide. I think if they do it, then I-League 3, which started recently now, will be a relevant league, if you personally ask me. That will make club to invest some extra budget to get into I-League 3, so that then there's a hope, we can play Federation Cup. If there's a club from Kerala who's playing I-League 3, one day we might have a chance to play Kerala Blasters, or a Gokulam Kerala, for example. I think that's a good start. Santosh Trophy, as somebody touched upon, should be made a youth. I personally feel, because they were supposed to start the department league and everything. I think Santosh Trophy should be under 21 nationals, and that is a good way to do it, because that will allow clubs to send these under 21 players to the states, and states can have the best team also, because eventually states can't select the best players, because best players are playing for the I-League and ISL and I-League 2 clubs, and that's where the same players started playing Santosh Trophy, right? Department players. If you have a department league now, make a Santosh Trophy under 21 league, and so that you can start getting some players and make sure that they are actually under 21 at their level also. So I think, and they have taken to the Santosh Trophy to Northeast after 20 years. So that's another start. But another major blunder of Santosh Trophy was FIFA sponsoring Santosh Trophy. But nobody at AFF thought about, they have selected Arunachal Pradesh as a venue for Santosh Trophy, and they didn't check with the FIFA. FIFA backed out from the sponsorship now. Because, and I think that's another shame in terms of the person who was doing the planning for the Santosh Trophy. Another thing which happened with the Khelo India Games, which is a flagship program by Mr. Modi, Prime Minister, with SAI and EFF partnership now, they have organized under 13, under 15, under 17 football tournament / league in 25 states and 45 cities, with AFF scouts and everything available on those matches, and I think clubs have also kind of scouted those games. So Khelo India is another opportunity for AFF to use it, because the funds are there in Khelo India. Because if you see in India's sports budget is kept aside, and there is another budget for Khelo India Games and Khelo India Youth Games and the University Games and the everything. So if AFF and SAI can come together in one agreement, start using Khelo India Games as an option to get our clubs and the players more games, that's a great start. And I think I personally feel, because Khelo India is run by states and the schools, by the way, I think that's a one way from AFF, get all the ISL clubs a partnership with a particular school, where their academy graduates, academy players can play, and make sure ISL clubs also play in these Khelo India youth games through their schools. It's happened in UK also, by the way. There's an example, Wayne Rooney's son was playing for his school in a Gothia Cup, for example. He was not representing Manchester United, but he was representing his local school. That's way these Khelo India the leagues, which took place in 25 states, under 13, under 15, under 17, will get more relevance if ISL clubs players started playing into it through their schools. So I think that's another potential to be built upon to develop the more youth games and more youth football for India. So that's one thing. And last of the least, the AFF finally have sent a presentation through right channel to the sports ministry to PMO for the inclusion of player of Indian origin in the at Indian football team. And I was talking to someone, and it was and this is nothing keeping politics aside, but 2014 when Narendra Modi came, because I know lots of Indian people who's outside India, there used to be very confusion regarding the PIOs and OSI cards. So they have made simplified the PIOs and OSI cards. They have made OCI card a very powerful card in terms of you can do now business in India, you can do open a bank account, you can get Aadhaar card, you can get everything with the OCI card, just like citizen of India, but you don't get a voting right, of course, and you don't get a passport. If somehow sports ministry, AFF can convince Indian government to issue a special POI cards for the player of Indian origins, players like Yan Dhandas, all these players who are playing in different Premier League clubs, youth level, and everything, who can be potentially improved our Indian football team, can issue some special OSI cards, authorize those cards. FIFA will allow India to use those players, even without changing the passports. So, there is a possibility at FIFA laws that you don't need a particular country passport to play for that country if you have an ID card which authorizes that you are also the citizen and the part of that particular country. So I hope I'm told after this elections which is coming in the month of April and May, there will be decision from Indian government on this. Do they want to consider this, or there is no hope? We will at least know by month of May or June. By that time, chapter of POA, if either it will be open or it will get closed. So because in past 10 years, the right efforts were never made to reach out the government properly. There are lots of media statement done by old regime at AFF, and everybody, but nobody took the right steps to change the the OSI issues in India. So finally, that presentation have been sent to the sports ministry, and I am told the presentation have been sent to the PMO now, and PMO will take a decision. They said they can't do anything major before the elections, so everything is now. I really hope if Prime Minister of India can consider this for the betterment of Indian tennis, Indian football, two sports which will definitely get benefit from this is Indian football and Indian tennis. Two sports will surely is a global sport, will make India look very strong, considering again Narendra Modi's keen interest to host Olympics in 2036. And I think somebody need to tell Mr. Modi that Modi ji, आप पहले प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन जाओगे, इंडिया अगर वर्ल्ड कप खेलती है फीफा में, वो आपकी लीडरशिप के अंडर होगा, क्या पता वो अलाउ कर दे. मतलब that's a one way to do it, right? He's happy to make changes to get India to the at a different stage, at different level in all things, not in sports but in other things. So if somebody can convince Mr. Modi that there's a chance India can go to the World Cup if we can take right decisions in terms of OSI card and we don't need to tweak lots of stuff. You have already the Indian government, the current government already made OSI card a very strong card. They just have to authorize that card as ID proof which can be registered to FIFA. So I think that's the thing, and that's one way of doing it, right? So because we all know the World Cup journey, we have know the reality now. Our Indian team have now, I think today have reached 119 in the ranking, and I think let's see. वो एक पॉसिबिलिटी है, बट उनको कन्विंस करना जरूरी है. एंड एज आई सेड, बिकॉज ही इज अ कीन टू होस्ट ओलंपिक्स इन इंडिया under his regime, which India is preparing 2036. So if India is going to play football in that Olympics as a host nation, we need to have a proper team. So one way is doing that, we change our everything grassroots and build a team from today. So two players who need to play in that 2036 Olympics is nearly 12 after 12 years from today. That means if say the peak of the player around under 23 team, mostly of those will be under 23 players, that means those players should start having the basic education of football now, which we don't have right now in India. So even 2036 is look very, very far, but you have to start preparing now if you want to. If India is going to host the Olympics and we need to play football in that, we need to have proper under 23 team, which we don't have right now, and there is no preparation in terms of what's going on in our youth football, where we can prepare the under 23 team. So can this be implemented for individual sport, or it has to be blanket for all? I think it can be blanket for not just sport, for other stuff also. Just to give an example, Sundar Pichai, he's a CEO of Google right now, studied in India, of course definite connection with India. if he gets, he already have OSI card and he already can do lots of stuff in India, but if he can give you, he can come back India, invest his money and everything. So there's possibilities to be done all across the fields. Sports can be a one start, one exemption can be made for the sports like tennis, sports for golf, sports like football. These three sports I can really see a definitive improvement if this OSI card have been available. Indian tennis have been demanding this from last 10-15 years. They have made more efforts than IAAF in last 10-15 years to make it possible for Indian origin players to play tennis for them, because that's a regular demand. So it is possibility is there, of course, if you, and basketball, as Nilesh also touch upon, there's lots of Indian origin people in US, Canada who play basketball at a decent level, which can help to improve our basketball also. So and if, as Vignesh says, football can help Indian economics. Football is a global game. Basketball is a global game. Tennis is a global game. So if we start doing well in the global games, of course, it can help our country. It can actually make India a sporting country. We are not a sporting country by just having one sport as a sport. And if there's a hope of India playing NBAs and the basketball World Cup and the football World Cup, the kids will really want to take sport, at the school level. Currently, because that is missing, the inspiration is missing. Of course, there's an option of cricket, but we know cricket is a costly sport. We know cricket coaching and everything is very different compared to other sports. You need lots of resources to be a cricketer, especially a batsman in India. Bowler still we can see in, coming from a humble background, lack of training, lack of facilities. But other sports like football, a boot, a ball, a school can definitely help. So I think we really need to go into a global sport country. We have to do well in the global sports. And today I was just chatting with my cricket team in the office, and I said, they always tease me about Indian football की ranking. देखो फिर से 119 हो गए. मेरे एम्प्लॉय मुझे टीज कर रहे हैं, 119 हो गई है, कब आप इंडियन फुटबॉल कुछ करेगा. तो I just also goes back to them. भाई तुमने कितने वर्ल्ड कप और बोलूं ग्लोरीफाइड सैफ चैंपियनशिप एंड द इंग्लैंड colonies World Cup तुमने जीत ली last 10-15 years में. There is only Australia who is beating you everywhere in those tournaments. And if you see cricket World Cup is for me like glorified SAF championship and the England and their colonies. It's SAF countries, England, Australia, New Zealand, West Indies, South Africa, all the colonies of England, in past. So it's not a global sport. Cricket fans knows it. They will not agree because we are a cricketing nation. There is no doubt over it. I have played cricket to the very good level and I like cricket as a sport, but cricket is not a global sport. That's a harsh reality. It's a reality. It's not a global sport. We have seen Jason Cummins with the Cricket World Cup, how he was received in the Australian airport. Australian football team, if they win the Asia Cup, even if they win any Cricket World Cup or Football World Cup, they will not receive like what Jason Cummins will receive. So that's the reality. Even Australia or England, they don't consider in terms of the cricket fan following in England, for example. There's a decent, very good fan following in England, but football passion and the fan following is totally different. Football fans in England, if they win the World Cup, they will fill the streets of the cities where the England team is coming to with the World Cup back home. But that will not happen for the cricket there. So I really like cricket. Pat Cummins, that's good. Pat Cummins, sorry. So I would really like India to make steps towards getting into the all sports, start doing well in the Olympics. And again, as I've touched upon, this government had a focus, had a vision. That's why the Khelo India kind of came. It helped India in the various other sports. Sadly, not much help Indian football received from Khelo India till now. But this SAI and IAAF partnership to organize Khelo India youth leagues for football, under 13, under 15, under 17, 25 states, 45 cities, it's a good start. It's a good start, and I think that's way, because this government has a vision for the sports. So I think they will understand the POAs and the OSI issue. If there is a presentation which I'm told involved an example of the worldwide, Qatar, France, all these countries, how they are using, even in Asia. Indonesia, for example, have already kind of 3 more Dutch players, Dutch Indonesian mix, origin players have been cleared by Indonesian FA to play for Indonesia in the month of March. So they have started taking those steps. So
Every Asian country is doing now. It's the same, every Asian country. Malaysia is doing, Indonesia is doing. It's a matter of time if India don't do it, because the worldwide it is done. Germany have done it. France have been doing it on a regular basis. Worldwide, everybody is doing it. So I think time for India to go with the world. I am not okay to naturalize player, having African players play for India, because I will need some player who representing my country have some roots with my country, right? So player of Indian origin, people of Indian origin, at least their grandfathers or the fathers are the one who playing in playing in who are from India. So at least they have some roots from India. They understand the emotions of India also. So that's the thing. By Ivan sack होगा क्या नहीं होना चाहिए? मेरी opinion ये है, he should not be sacked. But you never know, football, many things is possible, and you never know that Kerala will have to go and maybe feel that end of the season, the cycle with Ivan is completed and then they want new coach. I really want him to continue, considering what he has done for Kerala Blasters. He have stabilized Kerala Blasters as a club. I understand fans demands more. They need a trophy. But I am always, I will be critical of Ivan in terms of Durand Cup and Federation Cup. He has not used those Super Cup, sorry. He has not used those tournaments seriously to end the drought of trophy for Kerala Blasters, or even to win the first ever trophy for them, Kerala Blasters. So I think he need to smart. If he would have won the Durand Cup and the Federation Cup till now, he would have not have this much pressure to be winning the league shield or the league ISL, because that's where he missed the trick, if you ask me personally. And Kerala Blasters as a club missed the trick. Can a club unregister play without an injury and prevent him from playing? Surely Hugo is not injured. It is possible. It's in the club head if they want to register and deregister any player. It's not injury and everything. So if I'm not wrong, he was done in the January window, Hugo Momo. If I'm not wrong, I have to check on that, but possibility is there the player can be deregistered. Has Sriman Ranveer received in passport, is willing to leave Phoenix Bagri? So Sriman Ranveer, again, I will touch upon again this. He wanted to get Indian passport, so there's a process to get it, right? So nobody is going to make it उनके लिए अलग से प्रोसेस को छोटा नहीं करेगा. अराटा अजूमी ने उसी प्रोसेस से इंडियन पासपोर्ट लिया, जिन्होंने इंडिया के लिए भी खेला. ही बिकेम अ फर्स्ट इंडियन प्लेयर who was born outside India to play, I think in recent time. I don't know, but he was the first Indian player to not have an Indian passport and then take an Indian passport and then play for India. That's one thing for sure. He has a Indian father, Japanese mother, and he took an Indian passport, have an Indian name, played for India. Of course, came very late. One thing with this guy, Tiriman, I have never seen him play a live actual football matches. Okay, that's one thing. He has gone back to play in the amateur level again. So, and I am happy to be proven wrong on this. If he's so good, he should be playing at least professional level in Europe. He has a European passport, Belgian passport. So what's stopping him to play in the professional level? And if he's so good, again, he came to India and he can apply for Indian passport and play as a foreigner in I-League 2 and I-League. So in the meantime, you get an Indian passport, you can play as a foreigner, or clubs feels he is not good enough as a foreigner to be registered or not to waste a foreign quota on him. So I don't know these stuff, but that's my opinion on him. So I don't know he still has applied for Indian passport or not, because lots of things in Indian football is also about PR, So I never know these things. Why Kosuraj, former president of APP, suddenly alleging Kalyan and raising question on Satya appointment? What merit does he have? What he has done for APP for suddenly to hide his incompetency? Srinidhi, I also agree on this, and I have been talking to people. I'm told it's the recent news in last 10 days. There's a news saying Mr. Chaube used AFF funds to travel to Bangalore. How can that particular news and the person who is alleging can prove, and this is very optimistically if you see and very neutrally you see, can prove Mr. Chaube has not traveled to Bangalore for football or not? That's only Mr. Kalyan Chaube knows. Did he travel for football or he travel for personal purposes? Because Karnataka doesn't have the BJP government. Even he went there to meet Anne Harris, who is a vice president of AFF. That's the AFF work. So there is, people need to also see that what kind of phase we are right now in India. There's an election need to be happen, general election of India. Of course, Kalyan Chaube is running for that election. He will want to get a ticket from BJP to fight in that election. Is it all this recent PR move have been made to stop him getting that ticket? It's another political, again it's a very खिचड़ी बना हुआ है सब कुछ, और मुझे नहीं पता क्या सही है क्या नहीं है, बट ये एक एंगल देखा जा सकता है इस चीज के अंदर, बिकॉज पॉलिटिक्स के अंदर कुछ भी हो सकता है भाई. यू नो, if somebody has ambition to become a president of EFF, how that is possible? Because Kalyan Chaube has won the election. So one way is he leave EFF by his own. आप उनको इतना परेशान कर दो कि वो छोड़ दें frustrate होके. That's one thing. Another thing is he became less powerful than he is right now in terms of political position and everything, and you become more powerful. So whole this what's going on right now, is it kind of pushed by a segment of people in Indian football to stop him fighting election? So that's again, you know, it's a very complicated saga, but I think people need to understand. I was, when I look into everything, and I thought about this last night, and I thought, okay, this is possible again, because some of those allegations which have come out is, I don't even know if it is go in the court, will held it, मतलब कोर्ट के सामने ये एलिगेशंस रुकेंगे कि नहीं रुकेंगे, और कोर्ट रिजेक्ट भी कर दे स्ट्रेट अवे, बिकॉज him traveling to Bangalore cannot be misuse of funds if he's traveling for EFF purpose. Even if he's meeting Anne Harris, who is from Congress by the way, to discuss about Indian football, and only Kalyan Chaube can know why he traveled to Bangalore. Is it for football or any other? I don't know, because मुझे वो समझ में नहीं आया जो भी recent news आनी चालू हुई है. Of course, if the spa and everything has been booked on EFF credit card, I have seen the credit card statement, that's need to be answered. But the recent one that he traveled to Bangalore on a EFF fund, but did he gone to Bangalore do a political rally? No. Do that news report clarified what is done in Bangalore? No. So if you use EFF funds to go to Bangalore, what is their connection with Indian football? Two connections are there. Of course, Karnataka FA can meet. Second, there's a Bangalore FC, there's ISL matches in Bangalore, plus Anne Harris, who is the AFF vice president, is also from Bangalore. So again, you know, ये एक angle जो बोला जा रहा है कि मुझे जो लगता है कि, you know, as one way to maybe to get him removed from the AFF presidentship, you know, and when he came, he has done his mistakes as a president, you know. I think he was misinformed by his employees as a president. He has, you know, in terms of some decisions which he has taken as a president are big question mark. But right now, do we need another unstable AFF regime where we don't know what's the future hold for them, or Indian football right now needs some kind of stability in terms of what they want to do? So ये बहुत complicated सा saga है AFF president का, and with the elections, general elections are there. So that's one thing. So I don't know. You know, ये मतलब ये सिर्फ मेरी opinions हैं, and I'm discussing with you guys. I don't know what you guys feel about it. So, but ये political बहुत खिचड़ी है इसके अंदर, right? So I don't want to get into the politics. This is not inside Indian politics. This is inside Indian football. But you know, that's why I sometimes stay away from the cat fight between AFF officials, because that's why I don't stay into the football, because it's a very complicated what goes in that, you know. And you know, also one more thing, bro, didn't you think we become more ambitious towards project? Which project आप बात करो, real men? Thoughts on both Bangalore clubs on top in I-League 2? I think it's a good Bangalore. Karnataka football used to be a hub for Indian football back in 1670s, just like Hyderabad. You know, these places were important, and I think with Bangalore FC's success now at Bangalore, there's a potential to be another Bangalore club if they can properly, you know, come from another part of Bangalore or another part of Karnataka. Because there's a place in Bangalore, in Karnataka, which in the border with the you know Maharashtra. I think Belagaum is right there. It's a place, I think. Yeah, I think Belagaum is a place where the football is also a very popular sport in this city. You know, now it's also known as Belagavi. So it's a city in. I have to see in the map, to be very honest, and if I don't pronounce it right, I'm already apologizing for that. But I think city is this is very near to the Maharashtra border, I'm told, and I've seen lots of football activities, local football activities in and around Belagaum, and I think it's a very popular football is a very popular sport there. So yep, I think they share a border with Goa and Maharashtra. Kolhapur के पास की ही जगह है. I think nearest city from Maharashtra is a Kolhapur. So I can understand why football runs in their blood also. And I think इसके अंदर Belagaum एक city. I think वो it's potentially can be a second city from Karnataka to have a club. Not from Bangalore. If there's a long term another club coming from Karnataka into the ISL. What's your opinion on I am Vijayan? Qatar is a matter of past statement. Was that Asia Cup a joke? These guys and see वो प्रेस रिलीज जैसी बनी है एएफएफ की उसमें सारा तो उन्होंने डाला नहीं है कि मीटिंग में क्या डिस्कस हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ ऑफ कोर्स क्वेश्चन वर आस्क्ड टू ईगो स्टीमैच अबाउट द एशिया का परफॉर्मेंस अबाउट हिज एक्सपेक्टेशन बट जैसे मैंने शो के स्टार्टिंग में बोला ये मीटिंग टेक्निकल कमेटी की और कोच की पहले हुई क्यों नहीं आज तक व्हाई दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम अ टेक्निकल कमेटी is meeting Ego Stimac first time in the recent time. That's another thing. So I know that the question have been asked to him. Tough question was asked to Ego Stimac. He has shared his opinion and his findings. Now it's over to the to technical committee and Stimac to meet regularly and find a common ground to build Indian football. Kolhapur के पास है Belagaum. Yes, Belagavi is a big football culture and Belagaum United is the top football club playing in BDFA. I heard they will be playing I-League 3 very soon. Yes, Srinidhi, and that's what I'm saying. It's a Belgaum, I don't know how to pronounce, but that's the place I'm talking about, has a potential to be a second city or second place from Karnataka to a ISL club in future. It's called Belagavi, by the way. It was called Belagaum before. भाई मैं नाम से ही मारा जाऊंगा, but हाँ वो ही जगह है जो आप कह रहे हो, सब वही सी जगह की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. Has a potential from Karnataka to have a second place to be in ISL. That's my personal opinion. Any idea whether why the press conference with the media and Stimac were cancelled? Because I think AFF at that point somebody at AFA didn't know that he need to meet technical committee first before even talking to media, because that's where he need to report his finding first before talking to media. So I think that's happened now, and with Indian squad set to be announced very soon for the March World Cup qualifiers, there will be press conference now called very soon. As a football journalist, what according to Ken should be the manager of Indian national team after Stimac? So I think there's a one way of seeing if Stimac goes, whenever he goes, that you bring somebody who have worked in ISL like Manolo Marcus, who really also want to be one day to be a coach of Indian football team, considering what he have in youth players. But really us want to try coaches from Japan, South Korea, what Vietnam did with the South Korean coach to do it, because they understand Asian football. We have to bring somebody who has done wonders in Asian football. I really want all respect for the European football coaches, but we need somebody who understand Asian football, who have cracked Asian football in past and can crack it for once. The particular person should have experience of taking an Asian country to the World Cup or Asia Cup title. I think that's what my minimum requirement from the next head coach of Indian football. My personal reason. Do you meet Ole? Bring him in Khelna studio. He went back, so I'm not bringing him anywhere. Indian football World Cup project. We should focus on grassroots. I agree. Ashish, is Gothia Cup overrated or is a great tournament? Are there any age fraud there? Gothia Cup is started getting overrated now because it's not that good it used to be in past, because football have shifted to club from schools. Earlier schools used to do important role, so that's why it's getting in terms of it's a prestige historic tournament, but it's losing its importance slowly, just like Durand Cup. In terms of in Indian football, you can understand that. Manolo comments feel same as of Igor. Maybe as a coach, as a trainer, they feel same. So I don't know, what he's looking. Vietnam last coach was very good as well. Yeah, I know the Park Sang-hoo from South Korea. He's without a job, but he's running an academy in Vietnam right now. Park Hang-soo should be the perfect one for us. He's a development coach. He finds players. Samarth Bagwe, and just see Vietnam. Story of us also. Vietnam fans want him to go because they didn't like the style of Vietnam defensive first approach, and they wanted some dynamic football, attacking football to be played from whistle straight away. And they got a new coach with that playing style, and they finished last in their group in the in the Asia Cup. So that's also a thing. Our big football academy in India have also age frauds. Age frauds is everywhere in Indian football. That's a reality. Uganda went to streets. When should we go for a protest to streets? आप चलिए, आपके साथ मैं भी आऊंगा. इगोर एक्सक्यूजेस आर रेडी फॉर अफगानिस्तान मैच. उसके बारे में एक मैं बात बोलना चाहता हूं. AFC एंड फीफा नीड टू इन्वेस्टिगेट. ये मैं रियली बोल रहा हूँ, नीड टू इन्वेस्टिगेट, बिकॉज आई हैव हर्ड सम वियर्ड स्टफ व्हिच आई कांट से राइट नाउ, बट AFC एंड फीफा नीड टू इन्वेस्टिगेट हाउ एंड व्हाई Afghanistan didn't have 15 players against Kuwait in the first game, and why those players are coming back against India. So they have to investigate and figure out why, and I hope there is no malice done by anyone in that regard, because heard very conflicting reports of there was no issue, and those players were just dropped just like that for the particular game against Kuwait. So I hope Indian team wins both the games against Afghanistan and then beat Kuwait to make it to the second team in the group and go to the Asia Cup directly and World Cup qualifiers round 3. Big reason AFF gave Stimac contract is experience in World Cup. They aiming for World Cup before doing good at the Asian Cup. Ghana went to streets to protest against Ghana. They said they were supposed to be Brazil of Africa, and because Ghana have lots of talent, just like India has to have lots of legacy, Ghana has the same. Khalid is an Indian national team coach. What's your opinion? I think if we're looking for an Indian coach, Khalid is stand out as an Indian coach. There is no doubt over that. What he has done as a coach, I don't think there's any coach who has done recent time done what Khalid has done as an Indian coach. So if we are looking for an Indian coach, Khalid's CV should be on top of that list. So why officials don't distribute the broadcasting rights to the club? ये एक लॉन्ग टॉपिक है. क्लासिक गेमिंग, आई हैव डिस्कस अपॉन दैट. दे डू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट द मनी ऑफ ब्रॉडकास्टिंग कमिंग टू देम टू ISL क्लब्स. मैं आपको शॉर्ट फॉर्म नहीं बोल दूं. भाई ब्रदर, एनी चांस डोमिनिक सोलंकी बॉन्डमेंट स्टार्टिंग? भाई कोई चांस अभी नहीं है, रूल्स अलाउ नहीं करते. फ्यूचर में नेवर नो. कुछ भी हो भाई, जिस तरह से क्वेश्चन पूछने वालों को ब्लॉक कर दिया जा रहा है, एज अ फैन वी लूजिंग इंटरेस्ट इन फ्रॉड. दैट्स अनदर क्वेश्चन. That's why I don't ask anybody a question on Twitter. I don't get blocked because I think I'm using my own platform to ask right questions. But I'm told the questions goes to the right channel. So let's close the show on a good note. Last week we raised the questions on AFF audit for the previous financial year, which was 22-23. So now I was informed, and that I was right to ask that question. It is delayed, and it is delayed for again internal cat fight between AFF which is going on. It is delayed because of that reason, but that audit report is already done by the auditors, but it needs to be presented first in the AFF AGM. It was supposed to be presented in the Bangalore AGM, but it didn't happen because again at the Bangalore AGM, State Federation wanted General Secretary to go. President was standing with the General Secretary, so the whole AGM agenda was changed. Now I'm told that next AGM, the audit report will be presented in the next AGM, which is happening very soon, and then the audit report will be made public. So see, we asked the right question. Question went to the right ears, and we got the answer, at least for now. And hope that audit report will be public very soon. भाई ट्विटर स्पेस करेंगे भाई, करते हैं ट्विटर स्पेस भी, यही कर लें हफ्ते में, अगर वो काफी नहीं है. Why these people at top make uncomfortable vision like to 2047? The people who make these vision will not be there until the comes the imperial power and show negligence toward present. I have that day also I told about when the vision was launched and people were so excited. Wow, Vision 2047. Those same people who never read Lakshya 2022, those same people who never read AFF Strategic Plan 2017 and 2022, we have seen this in past, Indian football. So I never was optimistic about the Vision 2047. I said that time also, this new regime of AFF, they are very happy to make announcement. Every day they want to make a new announcement. One of the learning for AFF president and the AFF regime, if they stay further in this position, understand you can't just make announcement just like that without doing actual work. Now do the work first and then maybe delay announcement. Do the announcement once your work is finally done. That's the thing. I just saw Kalyan Chaubey is understanding coach and friendly games, and guess what? He blocked me. Is it Kalyan Chaubey running the Twitter account? Is his team? So that's need to be also asked. Maybe his team has blocked you. So, and if Mr. Chaubey has done it, so I think he need to come out and talk to the fans, to make it more. That's why when he came, he wanted to talk to the fans. ये काफी नहीं है आशीष भाई, आप 1 घंटा बात करते हो, 30 मिनट हमसे क्वेश्चन लेते हो, सो मोर सेशन नीडेड. श्रीनिधि जी कोशिश करेंगे यार, जब ज्यादा कुछ इंडियन फुटबॉल में होगा तो ज्यादा सेशन भी करेंगे. अभी गेम्स आने वाले बात करेंगे. इगोर सिलेक्शन लिस्ट इज रेडी, यू गाइस नो हु दे आर विद एक्सक्यूजेस एंड एक्सपेरिमेंट्स. एस्टली ओएसआई पीआई अपडेट विनीत सिंह मैंने अभी दी थी, अपडेट दोबारा दे देता हूं भाई. लास्ट वीक भी दी थी, मैं दोबारा उसको रिपीट कर देता हूं. एएफएफ ने कुछ टाइम पहले through a right channel of Sai and Sports Ministry, have reached out to the Indian government, submitted a presentation that what could be the Indian football if we have our player of Indian origin available for the selections, and we might reach to the World Cup and the Olympics if we use those resources properly. And government have told them that they will consider this post election, their presentation, not the decision but the presentation. Red Bull planning to buy a club in J3. Do they have plans for India since they are expanding in Asia? था रेड बुल का एक प्लान इन आईएसएल में भी कुछ सालों पहले उन्होंने डिस्कशन जरूर किए थे रेड बुल ने। एक आईएसएल क्लब था जो गया भी था रेड बुल के क्लब फ्रेंचाइजीज के पास मिलने और डिस्कशन फर्दर करने, पर बात आगे बढ़ी नहीं। बट आई थिंक उनको इंडिया रहेगा उनके रोड मैप में अगर इंडियन फुटबॉल अपने घर, वी हैव टू गेट आवर हाउस इन ऑर्डर फर्स्ट बिफोर गेटिंग लाइक समबडी रेड बुल टू इन। Thoughts on AFC changing rule in AFC club competition? Now their teams can use much foreigners. It's not AFC as said in past, it's Arab Football Confederation. Japan, South Korea, India and the ASEAN have to come out of Arab Football Confederation, make a new AFC. Actual football, actual AFC, actual Asian Football Confederation. Let AFC be the Arab Football Confederation, they have to make, because what is Kerala plan for 2024 Olympics? The plans were plans are as simple as what we will for the Asian Games. We will try to support Indian sport as such. Timestamp, nothing major news as such. Opinions and some critical point. I think one of the moderator will put the timestamp on the comment section, because previous week episodes had some kind of a news 90-second stoppage which you can use. It was about the audit reports and everything, and I think major thing is AFF audit reports is another which can be the news for you guys to share on your handles. AFF audit reports to be made public very soon after it is ready. It is done by audit company, but it's not has been presented yet in the AGM. Supposed to be present in the Bangalore AGM, but didn't happen in the Bangalore AGM due to the cat fight between the AFF officials between themselves. Now the next AGM, the audit report will be presented and then it will be uploaded on the AFF website for the public. ठीक है जी, bro, what do you think the reason for FC showing down in last 4 games, only 1 win, 2 draw, 1 loss? I think Sandesh Jingan injury is a major factor behind that, so that's one thing I want to say. Second thing is other ISL team like Punjab FC, other ISL team, they started prepare, use the break really well to come back in the ISL this season. Why we lack in sports which need infrastructure like football, swimming, tennis, golf, basketball? Because we don't have an infrastructure, bhai. That's the thing. ISL franchisee fee kab band hogi, and it's only one time fee every season. Every season, each and every club have to pay a franchisee fee, and initial agreement was that for 10 years they have to pay the franchisee fee. So now this can be another news. I will tell again, I have not revealed what the franchisee fee came, I will tell you now. Now the clubs, because the 10 years is happening end of the season, the clubs who started paying franchisee fee in 2014 don't need to pay the franchisee fee, I am told, and FSDL is considering a new model where these teams who don't need to pay the franchisee fee might have to pay some percentage of their revenue to FSDL as a franchisee fee. So, but it's not 15 crores anymore, because clubs like Bangalore FC continue paying it, East Bengal will continue paying it, clubs like Round Glass Punjab continue paying it, so the clubs who have not paid it for 10 years will continue paying it. So everybody have to pay it for first 10 years, and after that now FSDL is considering the clubs whose 10-year period is getting over end of the season, they will have to pay some minute percentage of their revenue to FSDL as a franchisee fee. So that's your 90-second stoppage and news for you guys to take it out alongside the audit reports. So two important stuff which need to be go out in the public, and there are more. The moderator will put the timestamp, and you can of course go and watch previous last 2 week episode if you missed. And I touch upon the TW3 testing also is an important point which you can talk about, that under 13 under 15 league having a TW3 testing in age fraud to catch the age fraud, and that's why lots of the games and the leagues were delayed, and the AFF have now make sure the player will only register at the AFF system after clearing TW3 test at the youth level. Okay, thank you very much. Let's meet next week again. I hope next week we'll have the names of the Indian players who will be selected for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. And again, I wanted to clarify one point on Anwar Ali before we go. And as I said, I always, whenever I feel that I've done, feel about I've said something wrong. Anwar Ali, I was told, had a hamstring injury last week, and I told based on that it will take him 4 to 6 weeks to come out from the injury. But Marcus tweeted out just after I ended the episode. I didn't check Anwar Ali injury, concern coming on the live on the show, and and based on what I heard last that he has a hamstring issue, I thought hamstring will take 4 to 6 weeks. So I still don't know the actual injury issue. It still has a hamstring. What was that? It was a precaution he came out, because I was told because of his physical shape and size, he got a hamstring pull. So hamstring pull will take 4 weeks to come out. So I still don't know what's the current status of Anwar Ali. So I'm just flagging off, if somebody have listened last week that I said 6 weeks, he might be back earlier. But still, I don't have any clarity over that, when he will be back. But I was told last week that he has a hamstring injury. So if he has a hamstring injury, will take at least 4 weeks to come back. That's what I'm told. But then, of course, Marcus tweeted out, and then I saw him training also. But I don't know then why he came out in that game. Was it he felt he's not ready and then he came out? But then that's a bit confusing, just like Indian football always. So, why do I see foreigners in I-League live stream comment section? It's a bet, punters who are betting in I-Leagues. Will Punjab move from Delhi next season? Yes, they will go back to Punjab. That's in plan. Women's football India this year, thoughts it will be better than last year. What is the future after Dinesh gone? Why did he leave? By the way, I don't know why did he leave, because there's a major issue in the women's football in India also. Positive step, the Turkey Cup is coming, where the Indian football team is preparing right now. That's one thing positive. IWL season 2 is coming. It will be home and away. Will start in the mid-March. And I am told this is the last time it will go start in the mid-March. It will start earlier next year. So that's, I hope, a positive step for the Indian football. Okay. What about ISL sponsorship? Nothing happening this season, brother. Next season dekhte hain. I am betting on 11. Benali comments on Igor. Benali comments on Igor plus Juan comment on Igor. Carles about Lalan Chunga degrading after coming from national team. Again, a fight between the coaches and the national team coaches is the global. So Benali is saying Igor not watching ISL in the youth football. I agree, but then I don't know what kind of contract AFF and the Igor Stimac have in the contract, what, because खर्चा तो भैया AFF को उठाना है Igor Stimac के matches देखने का. So is there any budget left with the AFF to make sure Igor Stimac can go and travel to watch ISL in the youth football? That's another question mark, because where is the money? There's an episode last week we have touched upon. Hardly there is any money left with the AFF. So वो पैसा नहीं है तो can Igor Stimac afford to travel every week to a new destination in ISL, stay in a hotel and watch ISL games? That's, I don't know, I have to check, but that's some major possibility, might be the reason that he is not traveling right now for all the ISL games. So that's it. And Benali, as a ISL head coach, maybe is not aware about the complexity of what AFF and the national team, how they're working right now. Thank you very much, guys. Do hit the like button if you have not hit till now. And next week I will see you again on the show. एंड खेलना का वेबसाइट जाके आप देख सकते हैं, नया डिजाइन की थोड़ी तारीफ कर सकते हैं, हमें बता सकते हैं कैसा लगा क्या लगा. मोबाइल ऐप्स के लिंक्स डिस्क्रिप्शन में है. Do download the mobile apps of Khelna. We are going to send the updates very soon on it, and we'll discuss more about our apps and the website next week. Thank you very much. Where the money is gone, watch the last Inside Indian Football 113. I have answered some of the questions where money actually has gone. Red Bull planning to buy a club in J3. I have taken this Red Bull command bhai. I will touch upon that. Red Bull was interested in ISL 3-4 years ago. Please bring AFF sponsorship update next week. We'll bring something back, but कुछ development है नहीं. Igor Stimac को 3 करोड़ का 2 करोड़ कर ऐसे ही सब चलता रहेगा तो फिर क्या ही होगा. चलो guys, thank you very much. See you guys again next week, Thursday 6 p.m. with another episode of Inside Indian Football. Thank you.